Hey, what's up everyone? Pop Culture Junkie back, and on this video we're checking out some brand new Funko Pops. I just picked these up. I gotta share them with you. I am blown away at these, and I'm so happy they decided to make Pops based on these characters, because growing up, Saturday morning, I loved watching Saturday morning cartoons, but there was one particular show on Saturday morning that wasn't a cartoon, although it did have some animated features on it. I'm talking, of course, about Pee-wee's Playhouse. Okay, Pee-wee's Playhouse was an amazing, a fun, joyful, witful, just amazing show for kids to learn and to be educated and to be entertained. Okay, they learned a lot and they laughed a lot. That was the point of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Now, interestingly, if you're not familiar with who Pee-wee Herman is or Pee-wee's Playhouse, if you ever saw the show when you were a kid, maybe you weren't even a kid whenever this came out. Maybe you weren't even alive yet, and you're just now discovering it based on this video. Well, let me tell you a little bit about Pee-wee Herman. Okay. Pee-wee Herman, played by Paul Reubens. This was a show developed from Reubens' popular stage show and the TV special, The Pee-wee Herman Show, which was produced for HBO. Later on, they adapted it into a Saturday morning kids program, okay? It's pretty crazy considering the fact that Pee-wee Herman's HBO special was aimed primarily towards adults. It had a lot of adult humor. It was not meant for kids at all, but it became a #1 television show for children on Saturday morning. Amazing, right? Now, of course, it was aimed more towards children when they changed it to a TV show for kids. It wasn't adult humor and all that. Although I will say there was a lot of moments in the show, if you watch it, they kind of do go over your head as a kid. Now when you watch it, you're like, wow, how did they get away with some of these jokes sometimes? But at the same time, they didn't treat kids like they were, stupid. They treated them like you're going to talk to them like a real person, and you gave them the respect. And that was what I appreciated about Pee-wee Herman. He treated everyone the same, whether they were an adult or a child. He treated everybody the same. And he learned a lot. You learned a lot about him as far as what he believed in, as in always believe in yourself, never give up, never let anyone make fun of you, and do what you want to make yourself happy, and always treat each other right, okay? Pee-wee Herman taught me a lot as a kid when I would watch this on Saturday mornings, and I love the show. Obviously, because I've got the DVD set here. Give you an idea of some of the crazy looking characters that you would see on the show, okay? All these kind of crazy. I love the Playhouse. They also had a big, awesome toy lineup that I always wanted to own. I never had a single Pee-wee Herman toy, ever. I wanted the play set of the entire Pee-wee Playhouse. I never got to have that. But I do have the box set there. Another thing that came from Pee-wee's Playhouse was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Okay, one of the greatest movies of all time. Directed by Tim Burton. If you haven't seen this, you are missing out. It's amazing. It's hilarious. It's a classic, so you got to watch it. But right now, we're not talking about the Playhouse show. We're not talking about the Big Adventure movie. We're not talking about the Pee-wee's Big Top movie, etc. We're talking about the new Funko Pops. And here they are in all their glory. We have Miss Yvonne, Pee-wee Herman himself, and then a 2-pack of Cherry and Terri. These look awesome. I love it. Okay, we're going to take an up-close look at all these. But here we have it. Okay, we have Miss Yvonne here. Okay, this is another, these are all... So check them out here, okay? The entire series is right here. This is the entire series of Pee-wee Herman figures. You have Pee-wee Herman himself, you have Miss Yvonne, and then you have Cherry and Terri as a combo, which I think that is brilliant that they put them together. It's awesome to get that. It'd be awesome if Pee-wee came with either Zombie, like the little box that he came in, okay? You could open it up and see his face. That'd be cool. Or Conky. Conky was the robot that would have the word of the day. If you don't know what that means, we'll get to that. I'll tell you more about that in a second. But I love it. I think they look awesome right here, and I can't wait to open these up and check them out. So let's go ahead and take a look at them up close, and I'll fill you in on who each character is. If you're not that way, if you're not familiar with who they are, you'll have a better understanding. All right, so here is Miss Yvonne. Check her out. Now, Miss Yvonne is a woman obsessed with beauty and cosmetics. She often flirted with Pee-wee and many of the male characters on the show as well. She always liked Ricardo, the soccer player, of course. And she was given the title the most beautiful woman in Puppet Land by the puppet characters, especially Mr. Window, who would usually introduce her. And she always wore a large brown-style wig, which you see here, and then dresses and heels. And her appearance was always accompanied by some sort of theme music. She liked, again, Ricardo, also has a medical background, as evidenced by her nurse get-up and actions in a episode from Pee-wee. But unlike many regulars, Yvonne appeared in almost every Playhouse episode, and in a few episodes, she even danced with Pee-wee herself. Pee-wee appeared to have a slight crush on Miss Yvonne in some episodes, and most of the time commented on how beautiful she looked upon greeting her. So there you see it. There is Miss Yvonne in her dress and heels. She's got some pearls on her neck. She has a necklace there, and then she's got a little bracelet. Excellent. So great little character of her. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Cherry and Terri. All right, check out Cherry. I mean, really, it's basically the same character figure as you would from the original series almost, except it has the pop eyes. That's really the only thing I see different about it. And she occasionally would hug Pee Wee whenever he sat on her, so she would be there to comfort him. But yeah, it's just basically a chair in the playhouse that Pee Wee could sit on and have a conversation with as well, because he would have conversations with all kinds of characters that were part of his playhouse. So yeah, she looks really cool. And then we have Terri. Now Terri is obviously, as you can see, is a pterodon, basically kind of like a pterodactyl, I always thought, but apparently it's called a green pterodon, and again, one of Pee Wee's closest friends. He usually acted like a young child, and really, whenever I would hear his voice, he always sounded a little snobbish, like, Pee Wee, Pee Wee, what are we doing today? You know, just very, to me, came off a little snobby, okay? It was a little British English accent for a kid, would come off a little, arrogant, snobby. But he was really, like a child at times. Like whenever there'd be episodes where they would have rain or something like that, he'd be scared of the rain or thunder, like that. He was very sensitive. But he was also picked on a lot since he was such a sensitive character. There's Randy, the little, I always call it like the Howdy Doody ripoff character of Randy, the little puppet. But he would also hang out with Globey. Globey's another character, there you go, that I think could have been in with the Pee Wee Herman package. I think he could have had another character part of him, just like you have Sherry and Terri here. But so yeah, Terri was basically like a talking parrot, but he was really like a pterodactyl, but pterodon is the name of it actually. Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and get to the main event, and that is Pee Wee Herman himself. Let's take him out of the package here. So here he is, Pee Wee Herman, the man himself, in the classic suit with the white shoes. You can see his little bow tie underneath there. There you go, you can see his bow tie. Now, for those of you who never watched the show, and you're probably wondering, why does he have the word fun? Why is he holding that up? So one of the ongoing segments on Pee Wee's Playhouse is at the beginning of pretty much every episode. So he shows up at the Playhouse, and they decide on what kind of fun activities they're going to do that day. And they always do a thing where he'll wake up his robot, Conky, and once Conky wakes up, he goes, what, etc., okay? And Pee Wee would be like, hey, Conky, how you doing? They'll talk, whatnot. And then he'll ask him, so, what's the word of the day? And he's like, hold on, Pee Wee, here we go. And they press a little button, and out prints out a random word. So then Pee Wee would take the word, and he'd see, oh, the word of the day is fun. And then he'd show the word out to the camera to show to the boys and girls watching at home and say, look, girls and boys, the word of the day is fun. Now you know what to do with the word of the day is, right? Anytime someone says the word of the day, scream real loud. And that's what you would do. And you would have parents not very happy on a Saturday morning. And whenever a character in the show would happen to just randomly say the word of the day, if they went and said, hey, Pee Wee, let's have a fun day. Ah! Everyone would scream. And it encouraged the boys and girls watching at home to scream along as well. It made you feel more part of the show. It made you feel more part of the characters, like you were part of the gang. So it was a fun element to include and be part of the show. So every episode had a different word. It was always something just random, and it was something that you would probably always hear in a conversation, so it made it more common. And therefore, you'd have moments where all types of different characters that would come visit the Playhouse would repeatedly say the word and make people scream real loud. So yeah, that is the significance or the point behind that. But I love it. I think it's amazing. I think these are awesome. I'm so happy I was able to find all three of them. I saw these announced just maybe a 2-month period ago, and I was like, if anything, I might find Miss Yvonne, or maybe I'll get a Pee Wee Herman, but for sure, I didn't think I was going to be able to find all three. I was very fortunate. Went to the store, and they had all three available. They only had actually 2 of each one of these in stock whenever I came to the store. So got very lucky. They only had, again, 1 of each after I bought these. So they're very popular, apparently, and I didn't expect them to not be. I expected these to be very sought after. So I'm pretty sure if I go back to the store by the next day or so, they're not going to be there. So if you can find them, good luck. But again, these are awesome. I love it. I grew up with Pee Wee Herman, watching the show, watching the movies, and I love it. He recently did a Pee Wee's Christmas holiday episode or show on Netflix even. So if you want to get your fix on more Pee-wee stuff, there's still more Pee-wee stuff out there. So very good. Well, all right, everyone. Thanks so much as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And please remember as well, if you haven't done so yet, please click on that little subscribe button so you can check out all the other content we have available on the channel. You can follow along with me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Anytime I got new stuff going on, I always share it out there. Well, guys and gals, thanks as always for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you tune in again. Take care. This is the Pop Culture Junkie. I'm signing out.